Hey viewers, I am Avatar94 here with another video. Just like our Book 1 water review, I have my brother here.
Alright.
He'll help me review Book 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender in this video. If you haven't checked out our review of The Last Airbender, the movie,
There'll be a link below.
yes.
The video's on my channel. Unfortunately, right now it's the only video on my channel. Hopefully we'll have some more added up there pretty soon. You also probably might want to see our Season 1 review of Avatar if you haven't seen it already.
His channel is USA Rugby 9.
Yes.
And again, I will provide a link to the movie review.
And today we'll be reviewing Season 2 of Avatar.
Book 2, Earth. Okay.
This series, season, starts off basically where Aang left off in the first season at the North Pole, having defeated this massive fleet of the Fire Nation trying to invade. It's odd because you don't have him, he doesn't really learn waterbending in that first season, although it's called water. He does begin to learn though, but throughout this second season you really see him, he continues the waterbending training. You don't see much of it, he's just mastering it, and he also has to set out to find an earthbending teacher to continue on his path to mastering the four elements and ultimately fulfilling his destiny and confronting the Fire Lord to maintain balance in the world.
And that's where the character of Toph comes in. She joins Team Avatar and teaches Aang earthbending.
And she's becomes one of these core characters you're going to be with the rest of the series. And it's kind of a good thing, I think, for Aang to have a character like her. She's blind, so you don't expect too much out of this character, but she's really tough and she pushes him. And it also becomes difficult for Aang to learn earthbending, and I think that helps him out. It adds some metal to his character and makes him better and prepares him for his upcoming fight. You also have Azula is another primary character that's introduced.
She's Zuko's sister, and at the end of Book 1 you see her in front of her father, the Fire Lord. He says that her uncle Iroh and brother Zuko have failed, and he sends her out on the same task as Zuko in the first season, trying to capture the Avatar and bring the Avatar in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, if you think Zuko is a pretty powerful bad enemy to have, she's so much worse. I mean,
she can shoot lightning.
It's insane. It's really a step up in who the
main villain,
antagonist is in this series, and she's establishing going to be with you the rest of the series. In this season, you see some really good episodes, which really again help add to what makes this series great. There also, you can see more of exploring this world.
Different spots you haven't seen before, like Earth Kingdom cities.
Yeah,
Ba Sing Se.
Again with the plot. I mentioned in the Book 1 review when you have a good versus evil story, you need to make it seem impossible for the hero, the good side, to win, because everyone knows that good's going to overcome evil in the end. So make it impossible, make it really tough, and it builds the story better. And you see even more of that in the second season. In the first season, we have to introduce, or Aang's put on his timetable. He has to master these elements in a very, very short amount of time. In the second season, at the end of it, Aang is basically killed for all intensive purposes, and he's saved by Katara healing him, using spirit water from the oasis at the North Pole, and it causes him to block the Avatar state. He cannot get into it anymore, which gives him all this immense amount of power. And knowing that he's on this limited timetable and he can't even unleash all of his power, it just adds more to
makes him
how is he going to win in the end.
Also, you see him really having a hard time learning earthbending because it's opposite to his personality and his core teaching, which was airbending. So they're kind of opposite. So he really struggled with that, and that kind of also contributes to that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, he won't master it. What will we do?
And even some of these smaller elements introduced into the story, such as diary agents, who is kind of like this
elite
police force almost
yeah,
in the Earth Kingdom capital, is introduced, and you see them used again later in the series.
May and Ty Lee.
Yeah.
Kind of Azula's sidekicks, kind of.
Yeah.
They're not main characters really. They do become somewhat, but they're not like the main for Team Avatar. But they are kind of important.
Yeah. Also, it's interesting when you have this conflict going on. You have your good hero characters, and then this evil side. You have Prince Zuko. His character is still involved in this story, but he's almost trying to find his place now.
Yeah.
Because he's not this central figure going after the Avatar. He's not the only person there. So you see him trying to, is he really doing the right thing?
He begins to think.
Yeah, he's taking a look at himself. And his allegiance is at times, it's hard to tell. He ends up helping Azula at the end of the season, which allows him to return to the Fire Nation. But it sets up sort of this mystery, I guess, as to what's true about his character. Is there really any good in him? And it just adds depth to the story. It's really good.
That's kind of book 3, but in the next book, I won't discuss that now, but
anything else you want to say?
Not really, because they had some.
I guess this wraps up our Season 2 review. You will see Season 3 review up later. Yeah. Again, if you'd like to check out our movie review, if you haven't already,
there will be a link.
Yeah, there will be a link below. Feel free to leave comments. We'll use any suggestions to improve our videos, whatever you like, don't like. You can even make suggestions. I've said it before on our movie reviews. If you want to see a movie review, you want a particular movie reviewed, feel free to make a comment, suggest it. We might even get to it. But that wraps up our review, and we'll see you guys next time.